What about now?
Oh, there you are. Ah,
Beautiful. Am I coming clear?
yep. Loud and clear.
Beauty. Too loud? Let me know.
I think you're good.
Awesome. Let's kill that. Perfect.
Sweet. Yeah, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks.
Thanks for joining in. What microphone are you using there?
I got the Yeti X.
Ooh, okay, nice.
Yeah, I saw it and I was going to get a different one, but they had it available. So I'm like, yeah, sure, let's go for it.
Nice. That's cool. Yeah,
Let's see if it works out.
Yeah, I've heard good things about the whole Yeti line.
Yeah, I've heard hit and miss. I mean, it depends on really what you get, but
Yeah, for sure.
you know how it is.
Yeah, definitely.
Depends what you're using it for too, right? That's
Yeah.
a big thing.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, this one, it's by Newer. It's a company. I got it off Amazon. It's served me pretty well so far, and like it came with the whole kit, which is nice. So it's got like the arm and all that stuff, all together for like $80.
Yeah, see, that's killer.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, I should turn my phone off. That's a good idea. There we go.
Sweet.
I know mine definitely wasn't $80. I wanted to spend $80, but you know,
Sometimes
didn't
that's
work
the way
out.
it
But
is.
I've got some cool features that I can use with this one that I think work well.
Cool. That's sweet. What kind of stuff have you had a chance to like play around with anything?
Very, very little, but I know I got some friends that want to do some different like interviews and voiceover type things.
Okay,
So
cool.
we'll be using this for that because it's got more than one setting in it, so you can use different like cardioid levels and
Nice. Cool.
features that you can use it for just back and forth, right? You can use it like an interview mic.
Yeah. Sweet. That's really cool.
But I need the whole boom stand thing though. This thing's sitting on the table. It's just kind of here,
Yeah.
right?
I got mine here. It's super helpful. And
Yeah,
like
that's much nicer.
yeah, like once you set it, like how you like at the position you want to set it, it stays there. Like I feel like there's like some like cheaper ones that like will like slide down over time, but this one it'll stay here the whole time, which is really cool.
Nice. That's awesome.
Mhm. Yeah. So for everybody watching, Will is also a Beard Struggle brand ambassador. So I think kind of starting off, what made you want to join TBS?
To be honest, I've kind of needed a better product for my beard. Just as funny
Cool.
as it sounds, I've tried lots and lots and lots.
Mm-hmm.
I started searching online, picked up a couple brands online that I thought were Canadian made.
Okay.
Turns out they weren't Canadian made. They just happened to be a Canadian company. And I'm like, well,
Okay.
that sucks. So
Yeah.
I thought I was supporting Canadian, which I want to do. You know, I want to support
Yeah.
local as much as possible.
Yeah, for
North
sure.
American products tend to have a higher standard.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, totally. That's really cool.
That's how it was.
Yeah. Yeah, like when I first joined, like before I joined, I hadn't really messed around with any like beard products really. But I just happened to see an ad for the Brand Viking program, and I was like, oh, that looks cool. So I just joined it, and then it's turned into like so much more than I thought it was going to. Like
Yeah.
I met a ton of people, like improved my content significantly, like doing this podcast, which I never thought I'd be doing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what I'm looking at doing too. I picked up a second camera.
Nice.
I've actually hooked up my proper capture card, so I can actually do
Ooh, cool.
a little more than just a typical cell phone selfie type setup.
Yeah, for sure. That's really
Which
cool.
is pretty fun.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I want to get a capture card eventually so that I can use a proper camera for this instead of the webcam on my computer.
I'll send you some links. I did lots of digging.
100%.
Makes it easier, right? Share the wealth in terms of info, right? It's always
Yeah.
helpful. Got to work on my lighting though, but whatever.
Fair. Yeah. So I've been kind of working on that slowly over time. I can give you a quick glimpse. I've got a bunch of lights. So like the ones over here, and I've got one here, one over there. And so these two right here,
Yeah.
I got those two in a set, and then this one on the side and directly in front of me, I got in a set. And then these two small ones, like this corner and over there, I got them separately, but they're the same model.
Cool.
And they're all by the same company, which also makes this microphone. And they all have rechargeable batteries, which is like ridiculously helpful. Because like before, like when I first got the two small ones, I was using double A's with them. So like,
Ooh, brutal.
yeah. So having to replace them like pretty often was not ideal. So then I found some like batteries on Amazon for like $20-$30, and it makes a huge difference because then I just charge them up and then use them, and then they usually last between like 3 and 4 hours, like on max brightness, like consistently. So I'll do an episode of this podcast and then charge them up and then use them again. Um, but they work out pretty well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is also realizing how much do you really need to spend? What's that threshold before you're just kind of burning money?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, none of these lights cost like more than like 60 or 70, I feel like. Like I think one of the sets, like this set that I have like here and directly in front of me, they're USB powered, so they were a little more pricey.
Right.
And they also came with they came with stands versus like these ones these ones came with with a little small stand, but it's not great, so I'm probably going to get a better light stand for them at some point.
Right.
But yeah.
Well, the nice thing about it is there's a lot of people changing up what they're doing for gear all the time. I mean, I picked up a pair of Gen Rays for $100.
Okay, nice.
Really, really nice lights, and I'm like, okay, now how do I make them work? How do I use them? What do I want to do? I need a diffuser. I've got a little side light on the one side, but not enough.
Yeah,
I gotta
fair.
probably turn my main light on here, right?
Mm-hmm.
But little things like that, but also the stands. I had like the same thing. A different guy was unloading a whole bunch of camera gear.
Nice.
And he ended up with some really nice Manfrotto light stands. Yeah, I'm like, okay, perfect. And they got they go really, really tall. They're like a 9-foot stand.
Oh, nice.
Well, they never need it. I don't have 9-foot ceilings.
Yeah,
but gives me whatever kind of flexibility I want
totally
now.
Yeah,
and I can sit there and I can easily just expand from that. But again, same thing. I bought 2 stands for $100.
Yeah,
they're a $300 stand or $200 stand. The guy's just getting rid of it.
Wow, that's awesome.
Like, perfect, works for me.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, definitely gotta, especially like with like camera gear and stuff. You gotta shop around because like there's all kinds of deals and like Amazon has some like affordable stuff and like also like if like used places online or like even like people in your area. Like there's lots of people with camera gear and you just gotta know where you gotta know where to look.
I think that's part of it. I think not rushing into making purchase decisions. I think
totally.
we kind of live in a culture right now where everything is get it now, get it quick, next day delivery, Prime.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm guilty as sin. Always constantly flipping on my phone and ooh, look, $3
totally.
coupon plus I get it tomorrow. Yeah, done.
Yeah.
Right. And it's
totally.
not a bad thing, but it doesn't. It's just kind of feeds that whole beat just constantly consuming.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, like you gotta like because I've been doing like YouTube videos and that kind of and like Instagram content for a few years, like. And I've just been like slowly like adding gear like over the years. Like these lights, I obviously because like buying them all at once would have been a lot more money. But like I buy like a couple here, get the batteries like here, because you gotta spread it out. It's just more like financially smart that way.
Yeah, it helps out, right? And obviously, if you can wait, if you can kind of give yourself some breathing room. I don't need it. I just want it.
Yeah, totally.
You can always go. You know what? I'll give you $50 for it. I know you're asking 90, but I'll give you 50. If that doesn't work, no problem. My budget's 50.
Yeah,
I'll
totally.
keep waiting. Right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, just see what's out there.
Big time.
Just accumulate gear over time for sure.
Yeah, I picked up a second camera exactly the same way. A friend of mine. Nice. I bought an old so Sony Alpha when they first came out, so not like the A7s.
Yeah.
When they switched to the Alphas, he switched his up, and it's his point and shoot camera. He's
okay.
Like, hey, I'm getting rid of it. It's cheap. I'm like, okay, perfect. I bought it. It got me into photography and having fun.
Nice.
And then recently he called me up and goes, hey, I've got another camera I'm getting rid of. I'm like, what do you got? And he goes, well, it's a GH5. I'm like, nice. I already got one. I'll take a second one.
And that's cool.
Lightly used, probably some of the best condition used gear you can ever get. And I get it for a smoking deal.
Nice. That's really cool. Wait. Yeah, totally. And you just gotta wait, be patient, do your research, look like shop around, see what's up for sure. That's really cool.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's your kind of going back to like Beard Struggle? What's your favorite scent and product?
Okay, so it seems every time I buy another Ultimate Pack, I have a new favorite scent.
Yeah. Totally.
For me, it's funny. I mean, I've got it right here, but this is probably the best thing I ever bought, and it's the sample kit.
Sample kit. Yeah, I got mine. Yeah, right over there. Yeah.
And because I'm married, And for me, I don't, unless the scent is offensive and I don't like it, I
Yeah.
really don't care.
Yep.
So I'm like,
Fair.
okay, sugar, take a look at these, put them in order, figure out what you like the best. And she puts it
Smart.
into an order, which is awesome. So I'm like,
Mm.
perfect. Now I start at the very beginning. Like she liked
Yeah.
Viking Storm. I'm like, done. Let's order
Nice.
an ultimate set.
Nice.
My favorite scent for probably a solid month or so.
For
But
sure.
I'm like, well, you know what? Time to order another one. I got Odin's Virtue in, and that's probably my favorite one right now by far.
So good. Yeah.
So I think in terms of my favorite product right now, it has to be actually the beard scruff balm.
Okay.
I like it. I use it actually more than I use the regular beard balm.
Okay, interesting.
So I don't put any gel or anything in my hair. That's just all the scruff.
Yeah.
And then same thing with actually my beard itself. I don't mind that it weighs it down a little bit.
Yeah.
I get a lot of wind. I drive with my windows down all the time. I need a little more hold, and I find that the scruff just holds a little bit better.
Yeah.
And gives me that just kind of obviously great smell, great aroma, matches everything else I'm using from the wash all the way through. And then I get everything I want in terms of hold on my beard.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, I gotta go. So I got Odin's Virtue, the Ultimate Kit, probably beginning of July, and that was my favorite for a while. But then I got the Ragnarok Finale beard oils and the beard balm just recently, and then that was my favorite. And then I just got the Asgardian Secret Day and Night oils. I think that might be my new favorite. It's just like the gold scents. TBS just doesn't miss. They're all amazing.
Yeah, no, I did start off my first scent. I've kind of when I first discovered TBS, I was like, I wonder what I should look at, and I really threw a dart at the wall. Descriptions meant nothing to me, and everyone goes, "Oh, this one smells amazing." They all smell amazing. So really, again, it's personal preference. So throwing a dart at the wall, I picked Asgardian Secret. That was what I went with first.
Nice.
But I didn't pick up the whole kit. All I picked up was just the oils.
Okay.
Because again, not knowing anything about what I'm looking for and what I'm doing, I just picked up some oils, and then sure enough, their nice little marketing program starts kicking in, and I get all this, what about this, and check this out, and here's how you use beard products. And I never knew any better. I mean, I've had a beard this long for 2-3 years now, and I didn't really know any better. I just kind of
same here.
Always had beard problems and didn't know why.
Yeah totally. And in the last little while, I've kind of been trying experimenting with some other stuff, because before I joined TBS, I never really I had a beard, but I never really knew much about any beard products. So then in the last month or so, I've been buying up different other different products and beard oils, and there's I found one beard oil that is pretty good, but it's just the TBS ones and the products in general. It's another level of quality.
Well, the quality is actually probably the hardest thing to measure, because I've picked some from some cheap oil and some expensive oil.
Yeah.
And they both feel and start amazing, but it's not the first week or 2 or 3 that really make the difference. It's that long-term use. I'm 2 months in. What is my beard like? What's my skin like? Am I having massive irritations? Do I have problems? I get more split ends? Am I growing more hair? All these little things don't show up until a month or 2 later. And I mean, as funny as it sounds, I mean, like everybody's significant other, I'm sure everyone's tried Monet or some of these high-end products. And I got beard oil from a friend of mine. She's like, yeah, I sell Monet. You got to try this beard oil. And nothing wrong with it, but it didn't work for me. I had skin.
Fair.
And I gave it 2 months of full use, 3 months of use, trying to use I almost used an entire bottle. So probably more than 3 months. And by the end of the bottle, I'm like, seriously, my skin is still not any better. I've got split ends. I've got problems in my beard that I didn't think I'd actually have to address.
Yeah.
Mind you, I get my beard cut probably every 3 weeks until COVID. So who knows now? But every 3 weeks or so, I was getting my beard cut. So I never really noticed a lot of major problems until I started growing it out in this season. Now I'm like, well, I got to change what I'm using.
Yeah,
stuff isn't working.
Yeah.
High quality ingredients, but also the a lot more thought in terms of what it's actually being applied to. It's getting used on the skin. It's not actually for the beard.
Yeah, totally.
Things like that, right? It makes a big difference.
Yeah, definitely. You definitely have to. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to have products from a company that actually puts time and cares about making a good product, and not just kind of throwing it out there, making something decent for cheap.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of filler.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's definitely. And I also tried a beard balm for another company recently, and it was just bad. Like the scent was nice, but the texture was like kind of like gross, like hair product. It was like,
Oh, weird.
yeah,
I've had
not great.
regular stuff. It's really weird. Like just
Yeah,
you spend forever trying to get it to emulsify into your hands.
yeah,
You're like, what
yeah,
am I
totally.
doing? Like
Yeah,
I'm moisturizing my hands at this point. I'm not actually putting this in my beard.
yeah, it's so true. Yeah, it's just yeah. Um,
Who knows?
yeah. So I saw that you got a new business developing. You want to
Yeah.
talk
Well,
a bit about that?
things change, and sometimes you don't have a choice. Ended up mutually leaving where I was working before. It
Mhm.
wasn't quite hitting all the right marks for both me and them, so it was a bit of a mutual thing.
Mm,
What I ended up doing was having good conversation with a lot of friends,
okay.
and I tend to be a little more active, ironically, than most of my friends in social.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
Fair.
I was just doing a little bit of like, well, why don't you try this and do this, and how about this, and just encouraging them in terms of like there's ways to improve what you're doing,
Yeah.
so just improve it.
Hmm.
And half, if not more than half of them are all like, I don't know how to do that, or I can't be bothered, or I don't have time. A lot of friends that are all business owners,
Yeah.
and they're like, yeah, I don't have time to do this kind of stuff.
Yeah. For sure.
And they've realized that their hourly efforts need to be placed into growing the business from an internal standpoint, not from a social standpoint.
Hmm.
And not to mention, I've always been critical of businesses that aren't keeping up with the time, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're
Totally.
not actually, they don't have a Facebook page, let alone Instagram, or even know what those things are, or they don't have
Yeah.
it on their phone, or you name it. Like you get a good example is someone who's got a Facebook page and a messenger app, and you
Yeah.
click on, hey, you guys still open regular hours right now?
Yeah. Totally.
And you don't get a response.
Yep.
That's heartbreaking, because what's the point in having the button?
Yeah.
And secondly, it tells you that I'm not going to use the business. So
Yeah.
there's this void where I figured I could probably step up and help out businesses with
Hmm.
social content, social media
Yeah.
ideas, social media production. I need to have images of my products. I need to know how to post it. I need to know how
Yeah.
to maximize what I'm posting. I don't want a slew of pictures that do nothing. I want to have
Yeah.
impact.
Totally. Yeah. For
And what
sure.
does that look like, and how do I do that, and should I use my iPhone 4? Like these are the questions that I actually do get, and
Yeah.
people are really concerned about this coming season. What do I do? How do I get better?
Yeah.
So
Totally.
I want to help.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
Will's wheelhouse. I kind of
Hmm.
talked with a friend of mine. He's like, dude, this is all in your wheelhouse. I'm like, yeah, this is Will's wheelhouse. I'm
True.
like, all right, I can
That's
work with
cool, man.
that. That works.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. And
So
then
we'll
for
have some
everybody,
fun.
yeah, everybody watching, I'll have his Instagram link down below, both
Yeah,
his
awesome.
personal one and Will's Wheelhouse. Check him out, give him a follow, so that you are up to date on what he's doing. But yeah, that sounds really cool. Sounds like a cool idea for sure.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun, I think. And I mean,
Hmm.
at the end of the day, if I help out a bunch of friends and a bunch of businesses get to doing better, great. If I end up getting paid for it, even better.
Totally. Yeah, for sure. Especially, yeah, like I've always loved like social media and like content creation and that kind of thing. So like, yeah, being able to do something like that like full time would be ideal and like a ton of fun. Because then like, it's not just like you're going to do a job. It's like you're doing something that you love and that you're like that you care about and you're passionate about.
Yeah.
Makes it a lot more enjoyable for sure.
Well, you invest your time in a different way. If
Yeah.
you're doing a 9 to 5 and you're unhappy every single time, you're unhappy for a third of your day. That
Yeah.
sucks,
Yeah.
right? I
Totally.
mean, who wants to be unhappy for 8 hours, right? I mean, if you're
Yeah.
looking forward to your lunch breaks and you're looking forward to leaving and going home, then you probably should look for something different,
Yeah. Yeah. It's
because
true.
you shouldn't be unhappy for a third of your life that way.
Yeah. It's not worth it. Like.
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
Yeah, and especially with like all the different like social media things like exploding and they're so much more popular now and like there's like more ways to like create like an online business like it's just there's so many more options for sure for jobs people can do.
Oh, big time. And not to mention, right now, businesses are all they're all being forced to figure out a way to work from home, to work
Yeah.
virtually, to work
Yep.
remotely. And that was, I mean, telecommuting 5 years ago was like, oh, you're one of those. And now it's like, well, part of the job description that they're looking for people when they're hiring people, their job description includes must have computer, being able to do virtual meetings, familiar with Zoom, familiar with working from home.
Yeah,
and
totally.
that's a reality right now that I don't think anyone thought would have been a thing a year ago.
No, for sure. Yeah, it's so different than like what was happening like at this point last year. Like everybody was just like going about their lives, but like now, like I didn't even know like what Zoom was before I started using it for my college classes, like in the second half, like in like the middle of March. But like now I'm pretty familiar with it because I've used it like for school, like other meetings, this podcast.
Right.
So like I'm definitely more proficient with it now than like before when I didn't even know what it was.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, even the little things you think you really know. I mean, for myself, I'm familiar with Zoom. I've never Zoomed. A thing. I've Zoomed. I've never done a Zoom call. This is my first Zoom call, but I've set my boys up with almost every single one of their classes because their classes were all through Zoom.
Yep.
So I'm not familiar with it. Never done it myself, but I'm familiar with it because I've done it for other people already.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
It's part of life already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's funny. Like even it's kind of like Zoom has kind of become one of those things. It's like it's a company, but then it's also like a descriptive word, like kind of like when you're like when you're looking something up, you're like, oh, I'm gonna go Google that, and like
exactly,
yeah, because Google's become like such a big part of like the search, like this like the search industry, and like it's like the main search engine that people use. So it's just kind of like become like a part of society. And I think Zoom's kind of done something similar to that in like less time because everyone all of a sudden had to have a way to like communicate virtually.
Like, that's exactly
like,
right.
Locked in their house.
And I mean, it's a good example of how marketing can be so effective. I mean, we do it all the time. And I kid you not, last night, my boys and I, we were talking and my youngest comes up and goes, yeah, so what is this? And he holds up a box of Kleenex.
Okay.
And we're like, well, it's Kleenex. And he goes, no, it's tissue paper. The brand is Kleenex.
True.
Like,
yep.
Yeah, true. I guess that is correct. And he goes, what about this? And again, Band-Aid. And we're like, well, it's a Band-Aid. He goes, well, yes, it is a Band-Aid, but it's a bandage.
Yeah, it's true.
And really realizing that our everyday language is actually being formed more than we think, where there's simple little things that we just assume are normal, but they're actually implanted that way. They're all part of our societal norms being supplanted into our memories, our conversations, the way we do things, which is really amazing.
Yeah,
to see how powerful that is.
Yeah. Something gets enough traffic going and like enough uses, like it just kind of like ingrains itself in society.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's really cool. So what kind of got you into social media and like Instagram?
To be honest, it was always images.
Okay.
The core of it really was sharing images and seeing really what people were doing. I mean, I started following McKinnon a long time ago. Again, when he was a photographer more than he is a vlogger.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's images like that where you're like, that's stunning. How did you do that? And that, I mean, it birthed a whole industry in terms of like how-to vlogging, right? Really became a whole industry.
Yeah.
And like obviously guys like him are stellar photographers, and they're also really good at vlogging and instructional videos. How do I do what I do? And this is how I do it. And making really that leap from really videography to cinematography.
Yeah.
Changing it from just I'm filming an event to I'm producing this thing that people are going to want to see. They're making a movie almost. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Really cool. So
yeah,
that was it. It wasn't. I mean, I'm not as funny as it sounds. I'm not a very social guy in terms
Fair.
of online. I've got a circle of friends, and they're very tight. That's
definitely.
But online is a little different, and but having fun, and every time I take a photo or an image, I'm super particular. Do I want to post this? Do I want to post that? Is it good enough? Do I think it's good enough? Is it going to be good enough for somebody else?
Yeah,
you kind of do that evaluation on your own, and with that, I realized I was doing that with everybody else as well, with their work, what they posted, what they put up. Very critical of it, and not in a bad way.
No, for sure.
But maybe if you're a business, I'm very critical. It's
just, of course.
Well, that's not good enough. You're a business. You should do better.
Different
standard, I guess.
Yeah, Yeah, I'm similar for sure. Like even like with like some of like I've seen some people both within the Brand Viking program and just like people in general on social media, like they post something and it's just like it kind of kills me a little bit. It's just like zero effort, zero thought put into it. Like it's like you just take a picture and then post it with like no caption, no hashtags. And I'm like, why? I don't understand why. Like why even bother at that point when it's just like you're clearly not like putting effort, and especially like within the Brand Viking program, like there's so many
Yeah.
people around that can help and like are willing to help. And like even like on the Facebook page, like all the Brand Viking Master like instructional like live videos, like those are all freely accessed.
Oh
Like
yeah.
yeah, those are all free to access, and it just like it doesn't require a ton of time. You just need to put a little bit of time, like instead of like spending time like scrolling through Instagram or whatever, like take some time and like learn like optimal hashtags for like this certain subject.
Well, that's part of the process. I think people don't realize um, needs to be there. If you think about this, if we go back 20, 30 years, if you wrote a letter to somebody in the way that we're doing Instagram posts or Facebook posts right now, your letter would be like a handprint, some scribbly lines, and a signature at the bottom going, "Yeah, I'm amazing." You know, like
Yep.
it'd be very, very unusual. So
Yeah.
we had a set structure that we understood. You know, Jordan, how
Yeah.
are you today? Period.
Yeah.
You know, like sentence structure was important, and the way you formed your letter flowed from start to finish. It wasn't just randomness as much
Yeah.
as we see nowadays. And
Yeah.
now, and
Totally.
like you said, you translate it now. You fast forward. Nobody sends letters anymore. Well, maybe if you do, cool. I
Yeah.
think it's actually really amazing, and there's a niche there that's very amazing. But no, I
Yeah.
don't.
No.
Most people I know don't,
No.
and we use everything else
Yep.
to communicate. And so with my kids, for instance, I'm constantly telling them, I don't want to see you shorten yourself in terms of the way you're speaking. I know that there's certain amount of abbreviations that are good, like you get your typical contractions that are
Yeah.
great to use. But if you start off with how you use your social media in proper structure, you
Hmm.
actually come across better right away. And not that you're better than someone else. That's not. I'm not going there with that. It's more just your overall thought process will be better
Yeah.
because you have to think about what you're typing in for your post. You have to think about what you're commenting on Facebook. You have to really think it through.
For
And if you're
sure.
thinking it through, chances are, one, you're not going to post something stupid
Yep.
that you're going to regret later. And secondly, when you do post things, it's like, wow, that was really insightful. That was really thoughtful. It's
Hmm.
like, yeah, I thought about what I posted before I
Yep.
posted it.
Yep.
Very cool. Okay. Right. You hold more weight with what you do a bit.
Totally. Yeah. It makes a
But then
difference.
at the same time, I mean, hell, I'm emoticons all day long. I'll
Yeah.
send you.
Totally.
You know, you do an awesome photo, and I'm like, yeah, it's still lit. I think lit's still funny, and it's way
Totally.
outdated, but it's funny because I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah,
100%.
I think it adds a certain amount of fun to it as well. Just going,
For
yeah, he's
sure.
an old dude, obviously.
Yeah, it's not just like yeah, it's not like just like proper like formal like paragraphs all the time. Like you gotta like especially with like captions, like they still need to be like entertaining or informative.
Oh
Like
yeah,
like you can't just be like I went to the store today and this is what I got. Like that's not like you gotta like have like some kind of like creative aspect to it or like a story aspect to it or something that makes it like I think like a couple of the Brand Viking masters that we've talked to on this podcast. I think yeah, Thor mentioned it. And also Espen, Pilot Viking, they both said you have to like it when you post something, it should make people like stop to look at it, not just like scroll by. Like
yeah,
it has to grab their attention in some way.
yeah, for sure. And obviously, with Instagram, the initial thought is that my photo should be good enough to do that.
Yeah,
But sometimes it's not necessarily the photo.
yeah,
That
totally.
those first four words you use do make a big difference. And if your
Yep,
first four words are "I'm selling something," well, guess what? People scroll right
yep,
past. No,
scroll.
no problem, right?
Yep,
But then if you've got the most bomb photo, but you have "I'm selling something" as your comments, chances are people will still click on it or look at it a
true.
little bit
Yep,
longer, right?
yeah,
You don't get as much engagement though,
mm-hmm.
right? And that's a whole different world. Engagement is a whole different world,
Yeah,
and so maybe some of it is just kind of why are you on Facebook? Why are you on Instagram? What's your
mm-hmm.
goal there?
Yeah,
And
totally.
I mean, that was a conversation I had with my brother. I'm like,
Hmm.
why do you want 10,000 followers? He's got 5,000 and change.
Okay.
Why do you want 10? He
Yeah.
goes, I want 10. I'm like,
Hmm.
cool. Okay, well, I can buy you 10. That's no problem. Spend the money, we'll get you to 10. But that doesn't actually answer the question. Unless
Yeah.
really it is just vanity. I want 10,000 followers so I can say I've got 10,000 followers.
Yeah. And I think for some
Oh,
people it definitely is that, but that's not
yeah.
it's that's not a great way to like organically grow if you're just like striving for the follower number. Like you have to be like posting something that you're like excited about or like interesting, because then more people that are also interested in that, like say with us like beards or like and like beard products, like there's lots of other people that are into that, but like you got to make it it's like it's got to be like it's got to be cool and interesting, not just like just add like every
Yeah,
post.
100%.
Yeah, otherwise people just get bored and unfollow you.
I mean, a good thing to think about. I mean, if you look at my Facebook feed, my personal one under W Hopes, I don't have anything, or my Instagram feed
Yeah.
actually. I've got nothing in terms of advertising or like this is the product I use, this is what I want to do, and the reason for it is because I don't have a lot of followers that I want to sit there and push through. A lot of it is actually just this. I have fun with this. I mean,
Hmm.
look at this. I got my mountain bike in there. I love my mountain bike. It's awesome. I love my
Got a wicked
backwoods country. I
photo.
love my truck. I like
Yeah.
exploring. And all my posts are all centered around that kind of thing. I love it.
Hmm. Yeah,
And of course,
totally.
if you cross post from Instagram, if you're not paying attention, it sucks.
Yeah.
That's how
Yeah,
it goes.
totally.
But that's one of those things. I like what I'm sharing. I actually like,
Yeah, for sure.
and it may not be perfect. Like this is my own personal setup. It's things I'm doing and having fun with.
Yeah,
And
totally.
the goal is that if I'm having fun with it, then you guys will probably have fun with it.
Hmm.
And if not, then all right. There's millions and millions and millions of people out there. I'm certain there's going to be somebody who likes the same things I like,
Yeah,
who will
totally.
check out the same things I'm checking out.
That's an amazing photo.
Yeah, I can't take credit for that one, man. That's a friend of mine who took that shot. I'm in that tent though,
Okay.
shining a light like an idiot, trying to make it all light up green. That was
Nice.
me. I get some work in that one.
Yeah.
So
That's cool.
that's 45 minutes from my house at the top of a mountain called Elk Mountain.
Wow.
It is awesome, stellar views.
Yeah, no kidding. It's and like yeah, like all your like it definitely helps to like be in like a really cool like nature type location. Like
Oh yeah,
yeah. Like I'm located like right like 10 minutes from downtown Guelph in Ontario, and like it's like I got to get more creative. Like there is a forest near my house, which I have used before, but definitely having like a bunch of like mountains and stuff near your house is definitely helpful for like both like exploring and then also like content creation for sure.
well, it definitely does. I mean, I know there's for myself. I mean, I'm kind of situated where I live. I'm situated an hour from pretty much anything I want to do.
Hmm.
So if I want to
Wow.
go climb to the top of a mountain, it's a half-hour drive and a 45-minute hike, and I'm at the top of a mountain.
Yep.
I can drive an hour north and I'll have no cell reception. I
Huh.
drive an hour south and I'm in Vancouver and I'm
Yeah.
like deep in the heart of full urban awesomeness and
Wow.
nightlife.
Yeah.
Drive a little bit to the west a little more and I find the ocean. Like
Yep.
there's all these little small niches where I live, which makes for me actually harder to create content. What kind
Yeah.
of content do I want now? I can drive an hour every day. It's easy to drive an hour
Yep.
and
True.
get some amazing street photography done.
Yeah.
I've got
Totally.
I mean everything from I could focus hard on like homeless populations and that
Yeah.
that really film noir look. I could do that.
Totally.
Or I could go to like the neon end of things and go with those bright lights and the city lights and the
Yeah.
fast moving cars or I could
Yep.
go to like you name it, it's available really easily.
Totally.
And it actually makes things harder
Hmm.
from a creative standpoint if you don't have a good grasp of what you really want to do.
Yeah.
So for me, I love the outdoors. I've been an outdoors kid my whole life. So most of what I'm going to do is going to be centered around outdoors.
For sure.
But again, if for instance, I've got some friends that are not outdoorsy, they're very urban. They want to do some what we're calling a urban street portraiture. We're gonna
Yeah. For
make a
sure.
new name up, right?
Yeah. Cool.
And they want to have these shots, these dynamic shots of them in the streets, showcasing
Yeah.
some brand clothing they have,
Totally.
or this new style or look they're doing. I'm like, okay,
Hmm.
no problem, we can
Yeah.
do that, and
For
that's
sure.
that's flexible because we can do it within a few minutes of our house.
Hmm. Yeah, that's really cool for sure.
Definitely fun.
Hmm. Yeah, lots of variety, lots of options for sure.
Yeah.
That's cool. And then you said you typically use a Panasonic GH5, correct?
I do, yeah. So I
Nice.
started off with the GH3
Okay.
a while back. A friend of mine does online guitar lessons,
Oh,
and
cool.
uh, he was filming everything with GH3s, and he had a
Oh, cool.
GH4 as his little go-to uh, personal camera.
Yeah.
And I managed to get a GH3 for I think $200, and I thought this was a
Nice.
cool camera, a
Yeah,
lot of fun.
for sure.
Used it for a while, and then decided, you know what, I actually want to get a nice, high quality, 4K capable, so on and so on
Yeah,
camera. I went with
definitely.
the GH5 because it can do
Nice.
4K until I run out of battery or card.
Yep.
There's no half-hour limit, no shelf life that way. It's just go
Yeah,
until
that's
you're out.
cool. Yep,
So I ended up going that way. It's got the interchangeable lenses. I mean, oh,
totally.
I've got one here. So I've got
Ooh, nice.
my little 50 mil lens on there,
Oh, yep.
and having that option to really do what I want for lenses
Yeah, totally.
makes the world of a difference,
For sure.
because you do get to change anything you. I mean, I spend more money on lenses now than I do on camera,
Yeah, totally. Like,
which is
yeah.
again mind blowing. Never thought that'd be a thing, but it's a
Mm-hmm.
thing.
It is. Yeah. Yeah, I've been using a Canon T3i for 3 or 4 years just because my dad had it lying around and didn't really use it. But then like recently, I think in like some point in July, I bought the Canon 50 millimeter f1.8, and
Nice.
it just makes a world of a difference. Like just like so sharp, like such like shallow depth of field, like,
Yeah.
and it cost me like $100, $130, like, which is not bad for a lens at all. And like that's like it's nice, definitely nice to have like interchangeable lenses and have like so much different variety. You can get like a 50 mil, get some like super like crisp portraits, or like a wide angle, get like some epic landscapes, or like a zoom
Yeah.
lens, like
Exactly.
punch in on like animals and like for like animal photography. Yeah, definitely having interchangeable lenses is like a big help for sure.
Well, it changes it from really a point and shoot camera into a tool.
Totally.
It really, really does. Like right now, obviously, I'm streaming. I'm using a GH5 right now,
Hmm.
and I've got a 20 mil lens on there, so that's like
Nice.
a 40 mil lens in 35 mil world. Oh
Okay,
man,
cool. Yeah.
lots of numbers. But
Yeah.
so that's what I'm using now, and that's purely because I didn't have a choice. I wanted to use my 50,
Yeah.
but my 50, my focal depth would be. I'd be like
Yeah.
right in the camera the whole
Yeah.
time. You know, I'm like,
Yeah,
too far.
that's
And then this is quick enough and close enough for me to make it work.
yeah, totally. Yeah, like my T3i like came with a Tamron 18 to 54, I think it is. So like if I'm doing videos, I'll use that just because it's a lot wider.
Yeah,
And like with the 50 mil, yeah, like you were saying, it punches in too much for like video unless you have like the camera like pretty far back. And my like office slash studio like is not a very big space, so I kind of need to work with like a wider lens like when I'm doing videos for sure.
yeah, definitely. And again, like you said, having that interchangeable lens option gives
Yeah,
you flexibility to really do what you want to do with it outside of studio work too.
yeah, totally.
Right. So I mean, you can easily take it and walk with it and change your lenses to do whatever you want to do. If you want to do portraits of a friend, or you're
Yeah,
doing,
100%.
you got a new car, you want to take some shots of your car,
Yeah,
you can do
totally,
that really easily
for sure.
with having flexibility on the lenses. And then, like you said, obviously with prime lenses, you get that nice the different options in terms of depth of field and how that works,
Yeah,
and
yeah, totally.
background model.
Yeah,
Like it's way more fun, I think. But
oh,
then you get to
100%.
also you got to want to take photos. I think that's the other half of it.
Yeah,
I like playing around with the camera.
yeah, same here.
I take a lot of shots on my phone. I do that quite a
Yeah,
bit,
definitely.
but I don't think I've ever posted a single picture from my phone without throwing it through Lightroom first.
Oh, for sure.
Right. So
Yeah,
again, I think about it totally differently from most of my friends. They post, they'll take a picture and that looks great, and then they post it.
yeah.
Like, okay, that looks great. That's perfect for you. You're still my friend.
Yeah, totally.
It's just I can't do that. I don't know.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, like I just got the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra recently,
Yeah,
and
no.
it's just it's got ridiculous cameras. Like a lot of the photos that I posted recently are just like on there, and then I throw them through like Snapseed or Lightroom and then post them up. But like just for like a phone camera is pretty good, but like you gotta throw it through something like Lightroom or Snapseed just to give it that like dramatic, like more like stylized kind of look. Or like
Yeah, I
even
think
just
so.
like even if it's just like you're in a place where it's a little too shadowy, you want to like bring up the like the shadowy areas a bit so you can kind of see a little bit more like what's going on. Like you definitely have to be precise and like careful with it. You can't just like crank everything way up because then you get a
Yeah.
terrible photo. Like what could
Oh,
have
you
been
don't
like
like contrast?
a yeah, I definitely play with contrast, but yeah, with like any like photo editing for sure, you gotta there's a line where it's like too where it's a little too much. Like I definitely do the like I've always liked like super like punchy like saturated photos, but like I've kind of been like steering away from like just specifically that and like kind of like experimenting more with like maybe like more contrasty, like less vibrant, like more like kind of like muted kind of colors.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely switching it up is like definitely makes the content more interesting, like stops it from like getting kind of boring and just kind of like doing the same thing over and over again for sure.
I think a big part of that though is also looking at the photos you're taking. So if you take a shot of a car or you're just taking a street scene, what are you really trying to focus on in that street scene? What are you taking a photo of that you want people to look at and notice?
Hmm.
And if it's the entirety of the picture, then that's fine. Then you edit the whole thing. But
Yeah,
if there's some way that you can emphasize by adding a little bit of dissolve in the corners or a little bit of
yeah,
color pop in a certain color, if you can modify it so that the eye, no matter what, will be drawn to what you want them to see,
yeah,
that
totally.
makes a difference. And
Hmm.
again, that's thinking about the shot you're taking, the picture you're taking. Is that,
Hmm.
am I taking a picture of what I want people to see, and can I help them see what I'm trying to envision through this shot or not?
For sure. Yeah, it's definitely definitely a science to like photos and like figuring out like editing and all that kind of stuff and like lighting and definitely makes it it's never definitely doesn't get boring because there's always like more things to try and like watching like YouTube videos from like Peter McKinnon like we were talking about earlier, like there's so much to learn. And like even with like cameras, like there's so much they can do in so many different settings, like especially like on the newer ones, like so much variety on like things you can do.
Yeah, big time. Big time. I think it's funny as it sounds. If you don't know what you're doing, then throwing it in automatic is probably your safest bet. Or
Totally.
using some of those presets. Hey, it's monochrome Monday. I got to take a shot. Throw your
Yep.
camera because my cell phone has a monochrome option, so I know that your
Hmm.
camera will.
Yeah,
Throw it in the
definitely.
monochrome, and now you can see kind of what it's going to look like instead of trying to edit it into monochrome.
Yeah,
Take that
totally.
shot because you'll be able to see. Do I have too much white in here? Am I blowing out the image, or is it too
Hmm.
dark and you can't see? You can kind of muck with it a bit
Yeah.
before you even take the shot, and that'll
Hmm.
help. That'll help in general. Just kind of give you an eye to to see that there's more science to it than just feeling, as
Hmm.
much as that sounds.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's definitely more than just like pointing and shooting, which I
Yeah,
think like not everyone gets, and it's kind of like I'll be like scrolling through Instagram, kind of like what we were saying earlier, like it's like just like zero like attention put into the photos. It's just like, but it's all you have to do is like watch a YouTube video.
yeah. Or hit that auto focus button or
Yeah,
something.
exactly. Yeah, put it in auto mode and like, and then just like even like put a like every like built-in photos app on a phone has some kind of like filters or presets or anything like that, and it's
Yeah, not to mention cropping.
yeah,
Cropping's a good
totally.
thing,
Yeah, hundred
right?
percent.
Take a look at your picture. Does it? Do you really? I mean, so here's a good example. You're gonna screenshot of yourself here. Say, fantastic. Do I want that light in the background of my screenshot?
Yeah,
No, I
totally.
don't. I'm gonna crop in a bit. I'm gonna use
Yeah.
my 1x1 because I want it for Instagram. So
Yep.
I'm gonna crop to that ratio, and I'll be able to
Hmm.
center it the way I want.
Yeah.
And it. I mean, it takes a moment to realize. Oh, it actually took 30 seconds to do exactly that.
Yeah.
And that's all the effort we're looking for in
Yeah,
terms of
totally.
good content. That's all it
Yep.
is.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
not it's not like, I mean, I've got Lightroom because I've always had Adobe, so
Yeah.
I still have Lightroom on my phone. I've
Yep.
got Photoshop on my laptop here, and I use
Hmm.
that to do the fun cropping and multiple grid patterns and
Yeah.
things like that. Or if I'm creating completely new things, I'll use Photoshop, but
Mm-hmm.
really you can do a lot of that from your phone.
Yeah, it's
And if you've
true.
got a clean lens on your phone, there's no reason you can't have a decent shot at
For sure.
least.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and like all the, especially like the like newer phones, like they're so powerful and so many different like camera modes. Like my phone has like 13 different modes like built in. Like
There you go.
lots of different variety.
So there's 13 shots per week you can take without trying, and they're all edited to a certain style.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
And like even like also my phone has like a pro mode, so you can like adjust like the focus and like the shutter speed and all that kind of stuff. So it's like even more options to play with like within like each mode.
That's funny. I still don't understand why phones have a pro mode like that. Other than for lighting, I can see it for lighting, but
Yeah.
really, I mean, then get a camera.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, well, I guess I don't know. I think like most companies are thinking like not like some like people who like care more about photography, but like maybe don't want to like also carry like they have a camera like a proper camera as well, but they don't want to always carry it around, but they want to have like some more flexibility. So like I think that's probably what like one of the main things that the pro mode is for, just like flexibility if people want to use it. But I'm sure the majority of people have never used it that have it.
I've used it once in my whole cell phone living career
Yeah,
lifetime,
fair.
ever. Just never happened.
Yeah, it's just yeah. Yeah, because like poking away with it, like with your fingers, is a little less like precise and more difficult than like with like buttons and dials and that kind of stuff, like on a camera.
I mean, I suppose it'll kind of give you at least an eye opening into the world of manual cameras, because that's really what we're
Yeah,
talking about then. That's
yeah,
a
totally.
manual camera set. You're
Yeah,
manually focusing, you're adjusting your aperture, you're adjusting your exposure like that's all a manual feature. And most people that have point and shoots, even these cameras that I've got, you can throw
yeah,
them in auto and just point and shoot, and the
yeah.
photos will be amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But
for
am I
sure.
going to get what I want out of that photo?
Not necessarily.
Right. So again, how much effort do you put in using your cell phone, and then, well, okay, maybe I should just use the camera.
Hmm. Yeah, it's true. It's yeah. There's a point where it's just kind of like you're spending all this time like messing with like the shutter speed on your phone and like the aperture and like the exposure and all that kind of stuff. And it's like if you have a proper camera, like, and you're wanting to take like if you don't have it with you, obviously that's fair. Like if it's with you anyway, like you're best to just like pull out a camera, like because you'll get more flexibility and like just
Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. But there's definitely like ideal uses for both a phone and a camera. Like a phone generally like it's with you like most of the time, fits in your pocket, whereas like a camera is a little more of a hassle to carry around. But like
Yeah,
yeah, it
for sure.
depends on what you're doing. Like if you're just like walking down the street or like through a forest and you don't have you just have your phone, like yeah, sure, like mess with it then, take a few photos with your phone, but off like if I know that I'm like going for a hike like in the forest, like I'll bring my camera with me because it's just like especially with the 50 mil lens that I have now, it's like
Yeah, exactly.
just totally different quality and sharpness and background blur and all that kind of stuff.
Makes a big difference, right? But like you say, I mean, even if you look at my Instagram feed again, that thing is all, I'd say 70%, 60% of it is all from my phone,
Hmm.
not from my camera.
Yeah.
A lot of it's camera, but yeah, I would say at least half of it is all from my cell phone.
Mm, yeah.
And it's just because, again, like you say, you're in the middle of something, and this moment comes up. What are you going
Yeah.
to do? Oh, I can't take a picture.
Yeah.
No, you're going to grab your phone and you're going to use it to whatever you can. And but again, I still throw it through Lightroom. I
For
make that
sure.
adjustment because I'm never totally happy with exactly what I saw. What I saw isn't
Yeah.
what I see now on my camera.
Yeah. Totally.
So make that adjustment.
Hmm. Yeah, and like it's funny. Like I've dealt with like a few. Like I've talked to a few of the other like brand ambassadors, and they're like, I, I don't want to like bother with like editing apps because like you have to pay for them all, and it's like not true in the slightest. Like Google
Yeah.
Snapseed totally free, and it
Yep.
doesn't even take up that much room on your phone. And it's got like tons of different options and like things you can do for like editing. So it's just a matter of like asking for help or like doing some research.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, maybe that's worth putting a nice little pin post on the Facebook page where here's a bunch of free apps and here's a bunch of paid apps and
Yeah.
what works well and what integrates well. Something simple. If you're using Android, use these. If you're using iPhone or if you're using Mac, then use this.
Yeah.
Maybe something simple, right? Just to kind of give direction. But it
Yeah.
still requires people to look at it and
Yeah.
actually read it.
Yeah.
And
And
I
like
think
take
sometimes
the
people aren't
time.
doing that at all anyways.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly. And it's always like, it just always kills me. Like you have access to all this stuff, and it's like, just like take a little bit of time in it because it makes such a big difference.
oh, big time.
Like
I
even
mean,
if you like I get the least, if you're like taking a photo and you don't just post it, you like even put like a black and white filter or like a desaturated like filter on it, like even
something.
that, yeah. So yeah, at least like do something because it just takes the photo to a different level.
Yeah, exactly. And again, like you said, even with those, like a lot of different programs that have the automatic settings and automatic changes to go to sepia or to
Yeah,
vivid or
yeah,
whatever the
exactly.
setting is.
Yeah,
Within those settings, a lot of times you can actually adjust how much you're applying to it.
yeah,
So you can sit and go, I don't want to have this over edited looking photo. Okay, no
yeah,
problem. That's easy to do still.
yeah, totally. And you just have to just look into it and fiddle with it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
pretty much.
Yeah, for sure. Yes. Yeah, for anybody watching that's like into content creation, like there's like I'm always willing to help. Like I'll have like
Yeah.
my Instagram, Will's Instagram, like
Yeah, reach
we're
out.
yeah, yeah, like especially like any brand Vikings that are watching that are like just starting out or like not super knowledgeable about like social media, like reach out. Like there's lots of people around that can help.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. I mean, I know for myself. I mean, I'm always open. Reach out at the same
Hmm.
time. I'm not perfect. I don't have it all figured out. And
Yeah,
part of that is being willing to receive. Hey, you know what? That doesn't look very good. Have you tried or thought of doing this?
yeah,
And receiving that without being all pissy about it. Because if you
totally.
constantly offended by it, then I'm not going to give you 2 cents. I'll throw you that like and scroll past. But
Yeah,
I'm not giving you any feedback if you're going to be all weird about it.
yeah, totally. Yeah, you,
Right?
yeah, that's the thing. Like you have like with like content creation and like social media, like you have to be willing to receive feedback. Like if you're just like, no, I don't want any feedback. I don't want anybody to tell me anything. Like I'm just gonna do it my way. Like you're not gonna necessarily have like the best like content that you can if
Yeah,
you
that's
just kind of
exactly right. You
like,
won't grow from it.
yeah, yeah, exactly. You'll just be doing the same thing forever and not growing or improving.
Yeah, exactly. And to be honest, as funny as it sounds, that's totally fine if you've established where you want to be and what you want to do,
Hmm.
and you've got yourself surrounded by like-minded people that are just like, you know what? All we're looking for is just shots that are done with a Google Pixel 3. That's it. No
Yeah,
editing software, no nothing. Okay, well, there's a niche for that, I guess, and
true.
you'll
Yeah,
top out at whatever it is,
yeah,
right? But if you're looking to approach that broader market where you want to have your content hitting everything possible, then you need to be willing to go, yeah, that's not good enough. I got to delete that and redo it. I got to put more effort in. I need to upgrade my camera. I've got to get help on how to edit this.
hmm,
And that just requires a little bit of reaching out. Obviously, there's a lot of good content creators. If we scroll through half the people in the TBS groups,
yeah, it's
half of
true.
them are phenomenal. They've got some great setups. I mean, look at Escobar Bell. I mean, he's got
Yeah,
some
yeah. I was just gonna
crazy,
talk about him.
crazy stuff, right?
Like, like it's like like consistently like his content just like blows me away because like
Yeah,
he doesn't put out a bad post like we had him on the podcast a little while ago and he's probably going to be back on again soon and like
cool.
yeah like his content is, I'll pull up his Instagram in case anybody wants to check him out, like
Yeah, definitely worth checking out. He's got some really really cool shots.
100%, like every photo is just like so sharp, like well, like looks like well, like it's thought out, like the lighting is cool, it's got like,
Yeah, he's got the lighting nailed almost every shot. I don't think there's a single photo with bad lighting.
yeah, it's true.
Right?
Like, and they're not all the same too. It's like different. Like this one's kind of like funky, like neon kind of, and then this one's like a more like kind of like gritty, like raw, like
Yeah,
yeah,
and obviously like love that first comment. Look at that mustache. Exactly. Look at that mustache. Come on. If you weren't looking at it, you're looking at it now.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's a serious mustache for sure. Yeah, but just like and like he switches it up too. Like he's got like the ones of like him in the suit, like sitting, and like even this one, just like a screenshot on it, like a page on his phone is like
Yeah.
nice and blurred. Like it's like it's like one thing is clearly like the main focus of the shot. Like
exactly. And to be honest, that shot's not that hard to do. It's actually
no,
really straightforward.
no,
It's
I've
about
done it.
taking the time to set it up properly.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, like I've done a few recently, like of me like holding a beard oil in the forest and like just the beard oils in focus, like using my 50 millimeter. I just had my sister like get like because she also is like into photography. So like she would just like take it and then I go through and like edit it. But it's just a matter of like getting it set up properly and like all these photos, like you can tell like there was time put into them. Like
Oh yeah, yeah. There's a good amount of setup time, but there's also a good amount of edit afterwards.
totally.
But once you start editing and learning how to do what, the process itself cleans up really really quickly.
Yeah, for
Right? I
sure.
mean that's such a dope shot. I love the way that there's so much focus on him,
Yeah.
and there's nothing in the background.
Yeah.
But it's there's depth to it in every
Yeah.
single angle and shot.
Yeah. Yeah. Just ridiculous. And also,
Really?
yeah, like, and if you scroll back, like it's quality, like pretty well all the way through, like to some extent. But yeah, he's definitely one of those guys that's crushing it for sure. Like
Yeah.
on Instagram.
And again, like you said, like a quick Google search, how do I get a blurred background? What
Yep.
does that look like? How do you achieve that? Can I do that with my zoom lenses? I've got a 12 to 40. Can I do that?
Yeah.
How do I do that? You know, or better yet, I'm using my cell phone. How do I
Yeah.
make a blurred background?
Yeah.
There's ways to do it, right? Especially with
Totally.
a little bit of editing software, you can do it.
Yeah.
I
Like
know that Snapseed can do it.
yeah. Snapseed. You can even if your photo doesn't like, even if you're just like point and shoot like on your phone, and there's no background blur. Like say your phone doesn't have like a lot of the newer phones have like a portrait mode.
They have the portrait
Like
modes now.
yeah, but like say your phone doesn't. It's like it's like a few years old. Throw it in Snapseed, add the artificial lens blur, and just like play with it so that you just have in focus what you want to have in focus, and then you can get a similar shot to that one of Chris's phone, like, and just like even like you just like take a photo of the phone like holding it, and then just like set the lens blur like in Snapseed like just
Yeah,
around
exactly.
the phone. It doesn't take long to do at all. Like
But you can start with everything all in focus. Exactly.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I find like people are like, oh, I don't have this amount of gear, so I can't do this. But like, it's just a matter of like getting creative with it. Like you can like phones and like even just like starting with phones, like you can do so much. Like phones are so powerful. There's so many apps available. Like cameras are
No, that's
awesome.
the truth. I think you kind of nailed it there. It's I don't have enough gear to do it all and that kind of thing.
Like
Yeah, I bet you anything. There's a lot of guys out there that have amazing content that don't even own a digital camera of any kind other than their phone,
yeah, totally.
and it's because the effort doesn't show up with the gear. The effort shows up from what you put into the gear. I've
Yeah,
got amazing cameras here. I'm not suddenly an amazing photographer.
true. Yeah, it's
I
like
didn't
it's
get
just
better because I bought another camera.
no. You have to
Right?
like you have to have the skills and like the knowledge. Like you can't just like get it like spend like $4,000 on like a Sony A7 III or whatever and expect
Come
to be
on.
like a golden photographer. Like sure the photos will
You
like
can still take bad pictures with a really expensive camera.
facts. Yeah, if you don't know how to work that camera at all, like it's it's not
Yeah.
gonna be it's not gonna make like it's not gonna help enough. Like you're still gonna have like not great photos.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of people have a hard time really kind of identifying with it because they don't understand context for it. But I
Yeah.
mean, context is simple. If I put you behind the wheel of a Ferrari F1 car, you
Yep.
suddenly aren't a contender just because you have the car.
Yep.
No, you probably die, and
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Well, I'll attend your funeral. It'll be amazing.
Totally.
But really, that doesn't change the fact that the user is the one that determines all these things.
For sure.
And I think again, McKinnon even does it a couple different versions of it, where it's like $4,000 versus $400 camera.
Yeah, facts.
Spot the difference.
Yep.
And I'm looking at it going, no, I can't tell. I figured that was the expensive one. Oh, no, that's the cheap one. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I should have bought a $400 camera instead of these GH5s. Right? I mean, I could, but that the reality is, there's a small percentage of people that actually have an eye to notice the difference between the two cameras, between a high quality setup and a low quality setup. Again, boils down to how the pictures are taken. Look at these pictures. I bet you every one of these pictures was thought through. Even this one
Yeah.
was thought through. What is it going to look like? What about that island? How
Yeah.
much distance? what kind of depth do I want on this? How dark do I want the water to look?
Yep.
All of it, probably not. I bet you anything he took 2 seconds. He just took a photo with his phone.
Yep.
But
I mean,
who knows,
but
right?
he's done this for so long.
We don't know.
Like,
I guess maybe that's a bigger point here. We don't know.
True.
This might have been just taken 2 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Right? Just a quick little, I thought it'd be awesome when I took a shot.
That's a killer shot. Just like
very cool.
Oof.
Right? Yeah. Everything's awesome. Yeah. I hate scrolling through his page. I get so much envy. It's just like, oh, come on. Look at this. Oh, come on.
Yeah. Like he's sitting in a helicopter, but it's just like
he's flying the helicopter, dude.
Oh shoot,
I'm pretty sure he flies helicopters.
I think you're right, yeah. Wicked. And like everything about that is just like epic landscape, like but there's like a clear focus point, like your eyes kind of like goes automatically to the console like of the helicopter first, then you start looking around and like seeing like everything else that's in the photo. But like,
well, you get to actually kind of explore the photo, which is really kind of cool.
Yeah, totally. And it's also like there's like also like a lot, like I know Peter McKinnon talks a lot about like leading lines and like that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like you see like it kind of goes in towards the like the controls on either side, and then you kind of keep going and you see, and it spreads out. You see the mountains and all that kind of stuff. It's just like fire.
That's my backyard, by the way. That's Vancouver. Yeah. Not really. That's a little north of Vancouver, but close enough.
Yeah. Wicked. Just.
Right. It's just again. I mean, he's got some amazing gear, but more importantly, he looks at everything with a critical eye. Every photo he takes, he has a critical approach to it.
Yeah.
It's not just a fly by the seat of my pants. I took a picture, I posted it. Why am I not getting likes? Well, because your photo sucked.
Yeah, exactly.
that's
it. That's really it.
Yeah. Like, why would I like it? If you barely like it, why would I like it?
Yeah, exactly. Like you have to put in like work and like have like a decent, like obviously like somebody who's just starting out isn't going to be the same level as Peter McKinnon because he's a pro and he's done this like he's done like photography and all that stuff like forever, and he's learned a ton and like knows all kinds of different techniques and like is really like he's always used like Canon cameras, so he's super familiar with like the menus and all the settings and like what like each thing does like when you adjust it, so he knows just like right away like what's gonna, and then he also knows a ton about like editing and like photo manipulation and like
for sure
like Lightroom and Photoshop and all that kind of stuff, and it's just like,
in fact, I'm pretty sure I've probably got another dozen or so videos on his YouTube channel that I have saved to watch later that I plan on watching.
Yeah,
because it's just I need a refresher on lighting. Obviously, look, I'm so dark right now. I need a refresher on lighting. I'm going to go back through my watch list. I'm going to find it. I'm going to watch it again.
Yeah,
he's also really good at showing you the insights on how he does it.
Yeah, totally.
And that tells you that he's so comfortable with what he's doing.
Yeah, and that's always the thing that's awesome about his like tutorial videos. Like they're so informative and so helpful, but then they're also entertaining to watch. Like when he brings on the duplicate of himself, like the evil Peter McKinnon, and they're like arguing back and forth, and it's
that's funny.
Yeah, it's always funny to watch. But then like also they're still discussing like information like between the two Peter McKinnons, and it's like helpful, and it's not like a boring like some guy just sitting there talking and like reading off a script. Like it's like entertaining and fun to watch.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So again, back to that creative end of things where there's enough creativity in that I need to do a tutorial video on how to adjust apertures. Well, that's a really, really fun topic. So how do I make that fun?
Yeah, totally.
Right? Like how do you play with it? How do you make that topic like obviously it's fun for somebody, not me. But it's fun for somebody. How does that now get translated into something engaging that you can watch?
Yeah.
And again, back to that key word. Is it engaging?
Yeah.
I mean, nobody.
That's the thing.
I could grab a sheet and just. Okay, I'm gonna read to you now my list. Anytime you do an Instagram feed post, do it in the afternoon or the dinner, but make sure it's for your time zone. Nobody wants to hear that.
No, right? that's gonna have that's gonna have 2 seconds of watch time.
Oh, if you're lucky.
Yeah.
Oh, it's this guy. Scroll past.
Honestly, yeah, that's like that really is like the main thing. Like you need to like put in some time and make it engaging. Like that. That's a big thing to like growing and improving on social media and like putting out good content.
And something that I was thinking about that really maybe kind of helps. I know a lot of guys are starting out, and I mean, I'm starting out as well. I don't have 10,000 followers, 100,000 followers. I'm not even at 500 followers, but I don't care.
Yeah.
What I do care about is putting out cool content and great content that I like. If I like it, then maybe somebody else will, right?
100%.
But what's important is if you don't know really what you want to do for content, maybe take a look at what's out there. And I mean, for me, if I could take a photo half as good as McKinnon's, I'm going to keep harping on this guy. I'm sorry, Peter. I just like your shots. But
it's all good.
If I could do something similar to his without straight up copying, well, I mean, really, even if I try to copy him, all I'm going to do is improve my shots. Totally. I'm just going to improve what I'm doing. If I try to copy someone as good as that, my shots will automatically get better.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're like you're putting you're expanding like outside of your comfort zone and like into something that you maybe haven't tried as much, but like you're using like somebody else for inspiration, and then that makes you like work harder to like make the photo better, and then it turns out better because like you're putting more time, you're focusing on it more. Yeah.
You'll find that the techniques will be something you'll copy and emulate and that. But at the end of the day, even if I went to the same places, if I went to Banff and I did all these amazing things that Peter's done, and I get my helicopter's license, I take flying lessons, if I do everything exactly the same, I'll still never get the exact same shot.
Totally.
I never will, because I'm different than he is. So no matter what happens, my shot will always be different, even if I've tried to copy exactly everything. Yeah. Which is awesome, because that means I could try to copy him exactly the same, and all I'm going to do is produce an amazing photo.
Yeah, totally.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, definitely, like, there's so much knowledge, and like, there's so much help for like anyone. Like I've watched, I think, just about all his videos like that he's put out on his channel, because they're so helpful and so much fun, and like just like definitely a great use of time, like learning something rather than just kind of like sitting and scrolling like, oh, I want to get better, but like you're not doing anything to like actively get better. Then you're not going to get better.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And the amount of time you spend scrolling and being envious, I mean, translate that into like 5 minutes of video watching. Oh, that's how you do that. Cool.
Yeah, exactly.
I learned something. Right, but man, that goes with a lot of things, I guess.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, this has been a lot of fun. We've gone just about an hour and 5, hour and 10-ish.
Nice.
But I don't want to keep you too much longer, but yeah, this has been. I'm really glad we did this. This is it's been lots of fun. Hopefully helpful for people watching. Talked about a lot of different like tips and tricks and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, lots of stuff.
Yeah, and then definitely like as we said earlier, like reach out. Like both our Instagrams will be linked down below. Like hit us up. Like we're not experts like Peter McKinnon is by any means, but
yeah,
we definitely
man crush going on. That's all.
definitely know a little bit about content and like social media and all that kind of stuff because we both do it. So definitely reach out, especially if there's any Brand Vikings watching this. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, reach out. Use the Facebook page. Like, use YouTube. Watch Peter McKinnon's videos. I'll probably even link his YouTube down below so that people can like, because we've talked about him so much. I feel like help him, give him a little.
Yeah, gotta throw something his way for sure.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, thanks again for hopping on. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely fun.
Yeah, look forward to seeing what you're working on in the future, especially with Will's Wheelhouse. I'll be watching that.
I got more coming. I know. I just kind of put up. Had to start up an Instagram page. It's like, you need to post 6 things and invite 10 friends. I'm like, oh, that's cool. You guys suck. Just want to start it. I wanted to keep the name. But yeah, I got some things rolling out in the next month here, so it'll be fun to see how that looks.
Yeah, for sure.
If I'm not hitting it, let me know. Just DM me.
Definitely, yeah. And then I'll have Will's social media link down below, as well as his Beard Struggle discount code if you want to support him and buy some awesome beard care products. Yeah, thanks to everybody for watching. Thanks again, Will, for being here.
Yeah, it's good to be here. Thanks so much.
Cheers.